Alright everyone, today I'd like to talk to you about my Russian PPsh41 submachine gun. This is going to be a quick overview video basically, just showing off the personal favourite in my collection. PPsh41 was the workhorse of the Russian army during the Second World War basically. It was the go-to submachine gun for the frontline trooper. I had a great big 72 round magazine. I could spit rounds out up to 12 to 1600 rounds per minute depending on where the firearm was made. It was known for being reliable, although it did have some downsides like being very heavy and very costly to produce. So the PPsh41, with it being kind of a big lump of wood and metal, wasn't very well liked by the tank crews, especially the T-34 tank crews. Such a confined space, it's hard to fit, you know, such a sizable submachine gun with a big drum magazine. And that's why it was eventually replaced by the modernised and the more versatile PPsh43. But still, the PPsh41 is a very much loved firearm and still used as a truck gun in even many modern conflicts today around the world, especially in Iraq. So this particular firearm was produced in 1944, I'm not sure if you can see that. No idea what factory it came out of, but it is in very good condition. Now this piece has been deactivated sadly, but if you're aware of the UK deactivation standards, most new specs is what we call them. The bolt's been welded solid and the trigger's solid, welded solid too. This one's got an exception, the trigger moves and so does the bolt, although it doesn't cock, which is interesting enough, but it's a nice little workaround, and that way you don't end up with a big welded lump of wood and metal. The magazine's a good talking point on this firearm, and the release is a little dated to be completely honest. It's kind of like a Thompson. You just flick down this little toggle which locks the magazine in place. You press down, and as you can probably see, there's a little guide where you've got to match up the magazine and you've got to insert it as so. It's a little finicky, and of course I can imagine a Russian soldier under the stresses of battle, they may or may not be able to do this effectively in combat. You just have to give it a good little tap, and then you can either leave it like this with the magazine toggled down, or it is a better option to flick it up. That way the magazine can't accidentally drop out. You know, you can't knock the little tab and it'll fall out when you're running or you're marching or whatever. Of course, you're not only limited to the 72 round drum mag. Just drop that over there for a second. They also did produce, I think this is a 35 round stick magazine. At the minute these are at like hen's teeth in the UK. I've seen these going for as much as £65 each. The stick magazines were known for being more reliable than the drum mags, especially in the harsher winter conditions. The drum mags, you do hear some stories of them jamming, although they are somewhat easy to unjam at least, but in the heat of combat of course, you know, that is questionable. The magazines insert in a somewhat similar manner to the drum mags. You have to guide them in, and then once it's slotted in that little piece, just clips into place. There's no real need, to be honest, to fold this back up. It is more of like a tactical advantage if you want to go that far, to just leave it down so you can quickly change your magazine under fire. Now the stick magazines were probably better for the conscript Russian soldiers or those who didn't have much experience. It would stop them in a panic from just laying out 72 rounds, overheating the firearm, maybe causing it to jam and expending all the ammunition. The stick magazine, once they've run out of ammo, gives them time to reflect, gives them time to analyse the situation, and of course the time to change the magazine. Hopefully by then the firearm's cooled and you can carry on shooting. But overall it's a nice little piece, especially for the age. It's in great condition, and it is my favourite piece personally out of my Russian firearm collection, and I do have most of them from the Second World War, to be honest. I think the only one I'm missing is the SVT-40, but I cannot find any in the UK whatsoever. Anyway, that's been my little video. Might as well give you a little view down the sights if I can. So yeah, it's basic and crude. Hey, it gets the job done. You can imagine this thing letting loose 1200 rounds a minute at least. It was a very terrifying thing for the Germans. You get a little view of that, and that's basically that. So that's pretty much my little video of my PPsh41 submachine gun. Thanks for watching.